The wine hits her dress before anyone can breathe. I'm talking deep crimson, spreading across white silk like blood on snow. The kind of stain that costs more than most people make in a month. The kind that makes a room go silent faster than a gunshot. My name is Silas Dorr, and I've been watching people long enough to know that some moments don't just change a night. They rewrite entire lives. This one started at La Maria, the kind of restaurant where the forks cost more than the food, where every table whispers money so loud you can't hear yourself think. Rain hammers the windows, jazz plays low from hidden speakers, and somewhere in the kitchen, someone drops a pan. The clatter echoes like a warning nobody hears. Her name is Tamara Wynn, 24 years old, hands shaking as she holds that wine bottle, eyes down like she's been trained her whole life to stay invisible. She wears a black uniform with a tear near the pocket she thinks nobody notices. I notice. I always do. Hi viewers, kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is. Warm welcome to the family. Across from her sits the man everyone whispers about when they think he can't hear. Darius Marcelli. Tall, dark suit, hands folded on the table like he's already 3 moves ahead in a game only he understands. They call him a businessman in the papers. In the streets, they call him something else. Mafia heir. The kind of man whose silence carries more weight than most people's screams. His date tonight is Valencia Hale. Designer everything. Diamonds catching light like tiny fires. The kind of woman who believes the world exists to admire her, and so far, the world hasn't proven her wrong. Tamara leans in to refill Valencia's glass. Her elbow brushes someone, a waiter passing too close. The bottle tilts. Time slows down the way it does right before a car crash when you see it coming but can't stop it. Wine spills. Not a drop. Not a splash. A flood. Valencia's scream cuts through the restaurant like broken glass. You stupid girl. Do you have any idea what this dress costs? Every fork stops moving. Every conversation dies. The jazz keeps playing, but nobody hears it anymore. Tamara freezes. Her lips tremble. I'm so sorry, ma'am. I didn't mean... Sorry? Valencia stands, shaking, her voice climbing higher. You're finished.
Done.
I'll make sure you never work in this city again. The crowd loves it. I can see it in their eyes. This is dinner and a show. Entertainment. Someone else's humiliation served alongside their overpriced steaks. But Darius doesn't move. He sits there, calm as deep water, watching the stains spread across the white tablecloth. His eyes lift slowly to Tamara. When he speaks, his voice is quiet. Too quiet. The kind of quiet that makes you lean in to hear, even though you don't want to. Apologize. One word. That's all. But it lands like a command from a man who's never had to ask twice. Tamara swallows. Her hands shake harder. I already said I'm sorry.
No.
He cuts her off without raising his voice. Look her in the eye. Mean it. The humiliation burns through the room like heat from an oven. Every person there knows what this is. Power. Control. The rich reminding the poor exactly where they stand. But something shifts in Tamara's face. Something I've seen before in people who've been pushed too far, bent too low, for too long. Her shoulders straighten. Just an inch. Her eyes lift, and for the first time all night, she doesn't look at Valencia. She looks through her. I'm sorry, Tamara says, voice soft but steady, that you've never learned the difference between being served and being respected. Silence. The kind that rings in your ears. The kind that makes you forget how to breathe. Valencia's mouth opens, closes, opens again. No sound comes out. And Darius? His eyes narrow, not in anger, in something else. Something that looks almost like recognition. The restaurant manager rushes over, already apologizing, already firing Tamara with his eyes before his mouth catches up. But Darius raises one hand. Just one. Everyone stops. He stands slowly, buttons his jacket, drops cash on the table without counting it. Then he looks at Tamara one more time, and I swear I see the corner of his mouth move. Not quite a smile. More like the beginning of a thought. You have no idea what you just did, he says. Then he walks out into the rain, leaving Valencia standing there, dripping wine and rage, while Tamara stands trembling, wondering if she just saved herself or destroyed everything. Would you have spoken up like Tamara did, or would you have stayed silent? Drop your answer in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button because this story is just getting started. The rain doesn't stop. Neither does the manager's voice. You're done, Tamara. Pack your things. Now. She doesn't argue. Doesn't cry. Not yet. She learned a long time ago that tears just give people more reasons to look down on you. So she walks to the back, takes off her apron, folds it even though her hands won't stop shaking, and leaves through the kitchen door where the trash bins smell like old seafood and broken dreams. The rain soaks through her jacket in seconds. Cold water runs down her neck, but she barely feels it. Her mind keeps replaying that moment. The wine spilling, Valencia screaming, Darius watching, her own voice saying words she didn't know she had in her. Stupid, she thinks. So stupid. She walks 6 blocks to the bus stop, shoes squishing with every step. Her phone buzzes. A text from her sister, Janae. Mom's asking for you. Dialysis ran long today. She's tired. Tamara closes her eyes. Her mother. The reason she works double shifts. The reason she swallows every insult, every cruel word, every moment of humiliation. Because someone has to pay for the treatments. Someone has to keep the lights on. And now she just threw away the only job that was paying enough. The bus comes. She sits in the back, watching the city blur through rain-streaked windows. Couples laugh under umbrellas. Groups of friends stumble out of bars, drunk and loud and careless. She wonders what it feels like to be that free. To not count every dollar. To not apologize for existing. Her stop comes too soon. She walks 2 more blocks to the small apartment complex where the elevator's been broken for 3 months and the hallway smells like cooking grease and someone's cigarettes. 4th floor. Dorfiersche. Home. Janae opens the door before Tamara can get her keys out. You look terrible. What happened? Nothing. Long shift. Liar. Janae studies her face. Younger by 2 years, but somehow always sees through everything. You got that look. The one you get when you're holding something heavy. I'm fine, Tamara. I said I'm fine. She moves past her sister, drops her bag, goes to her mother's room. The machines beep softly. Her mother, Lorraine, lies in bed, eyes closed, breathing steady. The dialysis always exhausts her, steals hours from her life just to keep her alive a little longer. Tamara sits in the chair beside the bed, takes her mother's hand. Thin fingers. Paper skin. She used to have strong hands. Hands that braided Tamara's hair every Sunday. Hands that worked 2 jobs and still made dinner every night. Did they treat you kindly tonight, baby? Her mother's voice comes out rough, tired. Tamara forces a smile, even though her mother's eyes are still closed. Yes, Mama. Just another night. The lie tastes like copper. Like blood. Like the wine that ruined everything. Her mother squeezes her hand weakly. You're a good girl. Don't let anyone tell you different. Tamara holds that hand until her mother falls asleep again. Then she goes to her room, closes the door, and finally lets herself cry. Quiet tears. The kind that don't make noise. The kind that years of practice taught her how to hide. She changes into dry clothes, lies on her bed, stares at the ceiling. Her phone buzzes again. Unknown number. She almost doesn't answer, but something makes her look. The text says just 3 words. Look outside. Now. Her heart jumps into her throat. She goes to the window, pulls back the curtain. A black car idles under the streetlight. Sleek. Expensive. Water beads on its hood, reflecting yellow light like tiny stars. And standing beside it, rain darkening his suit jacket, is a man in a dark coat. He's looking up, right at her window. When their eyes meet, he lifts one hand, not waving, beckoning. What would you do if a mysterious car showed up outside your window after the worst night of your life? Tell us in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed because Chapter 3 is going to blow your mind. Fear and curiosity make terrible partners. But sometimes they're all you've got. Tamara stands at her window, heart hammering, staring at that black car. The man in the coat doesn't move. Just stands there in the rain, patient as death, waiting like he's got all the time in the world and knows she doesn't. Janae appears behind her. Who is that? I don't know. Then don't go down there. Are you crazy? But Tamara's already moving, grabbing her jacket, heading for the door. Because here's what she learned tonight. Staying quiet, staying safe, staying small, it doesn't protect you. It just makes you an easier target. Tamara? Janae grabs her arm. This is how people end up on the news. I'll be fine. You don't know that. I don't know anything anymore. She pulls free, gentle but firm. I'll text you every 5 minutes. If I don't, call the police. She takes the stairs instead of waiting for the elevator that never comes. 4 flights down, lungs burning, mind racing. Each step echoes in the stairwell like a countdown to something she can't take back. The lobby door creaks when she pushes it open. Rain hits her face immediately. The man in the coat hasn't moved. Up close, she sees he's older, maybe 50, with gray at his temples and eyes that have seen things she probably doesn't want to know about. Miss Wynne. His voice is formal, professional, like he's delivering a package instead of standing in the rain at midnight. Who's asking? Mr. Marcelli would like to see you. Her stomach drops. Why? He didn't say. But when Mr. Marcelli requests something, people usually don't ask why. They just go. And if I don't, the man almost smiles. Almost. Then I drive away, and you never find out what might have changed your life tonight. She should walk away. Turn around. Go back upstairs. This is how bad decisions start. How people end up in situations they can't escape. But her mother's machines are beeping upstairs. Bills are piling up. And tonight, she stood up to a woman who could destroy her with one phone call. What's one more terrible decision? 5 minutes, she says. That's all he gets. The man opens the car door. Leather interior. Classical music playing low. The seats are heated. She's never been in a car with heated seats before. They drive through the city. Rain turns the streets into rivers of light. Red taillights. Green traffic signals. Neon signs bleeding colors onto wet pavement. She watches it all blur past, wondering if this is the last time she'll see it. If she's driving toward salvation or something worse. The car climbs. Up past the regular streets into the hills where the houses hide behind gates and walls. Where money doesn't just talk, it whispers, because it doesn't need to shout. They pull up to a mansion that looks like it belongs in movies, not real life. White stone. Tall windows. Gardens that probably cost more to maintain than her apartment costs to rent. The man opens her door. He's waiting inside. She steps out onto marble. Actual marble. The front door opens before she reaches it, like the house is alive, watching, anticipating. And there, in the grand entrance hall, stands Darius Marcelli. Jacket off. Sleeves rolled up. Hands clasped in front of him like he's been standing there, thinking, for hours. His eyes meet hers. Dark. Unreadable. But there's something in them she didn't see at the restaurant. Something that looks almost like respect. You came, he says quietly. You didn't give me much choice. There's always a choice, Tamara. You made one tonight at the restaurant. That's why you're here. She lifts her chin, trying to look braver than she feels. So what now? You brought me here to fire me again? Threaten me? Make sure I never work anywhere in this city. He studies her for a long moment. Then he reaches into his pocket and pulls out something that makes her breath catch. A check. He holds it out. She doesn't take it. What is that? Enough to cover your mother's treatments. For the next 2 years. The room spins. She grabs the back of a chair to steady herself. Why would you do that? Because you did something tonight that nobody's done in a very long time. What? Spill wine. No. He steps closer. Not threatening. Just honest. You told the truth when it could have cost you everything. You reminded me that power without conscience is just cruelty in expensive clothes. She stares at the check. At him. At this impossible moment. I don't understand. You will. He places the check on the table beside her. Your mother deserves better than the hand she was dealt. So do you. Nothing's free. What do you want from me? His expression shifts. Something darker moves behind his eyes. Not danger. Something heavier. Like a decision he's been carrying for too long. I want you to help me do something I should have done years ago. I want you to help me destroy my father's empire. The words hang in the air like smoke. Like thunder. Like the beginning of a war she didn't know she was signing up for. If someone offered you money to fight a battle you didn't start, would you take it? Drop your thoughts below, and hit that like button if you're hooked on this story. Word travels fast when you're connected to a man like Darius Marcelli, especially when that man starts protecting a waitress. 3 days pass. Tamara uses the check.
Has to.
Her mother needs it, but every time she looks at that money in her account, she feels the weight of what it cost. Not just the wine she spilled, the choice she made after. She hasn't seen Darius since that night in his mansion. No calls.
No texts.
Just silence. The kind that makes you wonder if you imagine the whole thing. But the city knows. Somehow, the city always knows. She's walking back from the pharmacy, her mother's prescriptions in a bag, when she sees them. 2 women from the restaurant. The ones who used to smile at her before pretending she was invisible. Now they just stare. One whispers to the other. Both look away fast when Tamara meets their eyes. At the grocery store, the cashier asks, "You're the one, aren't you? The one everyone's talking about?" Tamara doesn't answer. Just pays and leaves. But the whispers follow her home. Through the streets. Up the stairs. Into her head. That evening, her phone rings. Unknown number again. She almost ignores it. Almost. Hello. Tamara Wynn? A woman's voice. Cold. Elegant.
Familiar.
Her chest tightens. Who is this?
Valencia Ale.
I believe we've met. Silence. Tamara's hand grips the phone harder. I wanted to call and apologize, Valencia continues, voice dripping with something that sounds nothing like regret. I was harsh that night. Unfair, even. I'd like to make it up to you. Make it up to me? Dinner.
La Mara.
Tomorrow night. My treat. Let's start over. Every instinct Tamara has screams this is a trap. I don't think that's a good idea. Oh, I think it's a wonderful idea. Unless, of course, you're too busy spending Darius's money to spare an hour for the woman whose dress you ruined. There it is. The knife hidden in the silk. Tamara closes her eyes. What do you really want? I want to understand what makes a girl like you so special. What Darius sees that I'm apparently missing. Valencia's voice hardens. Tomorrow. 8 o'clock. Don't be late. The line goes dead. Janae looks up from her homework. Who was that? Trouble. Specifically? The kind that wears diamonds and holds grudges. The next evening, Tamara stands outside La Maria again. Same restaurant.
Different lifetime.
She almost turns around 3 times before she forces herself through those doors. The hostess recognizes her. Eyes widen. Miss Wynn. Miss Hale is waiting for you. She's led to a private room in the back. Soft lighting. A single table. And there, sitting like a queen on a throne, is Valencia. Different dress. Same cold smile. You came. How brave. Valencia gestures to the chair across from her.
Seat.
Please. Tamara sits. Doesn't touch the wine already poured. Doesn't relax. Valencia watches her like a cat watches a bird with a broken wing. You know what's funny? I've been coming to this restaurant for 5 years. 5 years of perfect service. Then you show up, ruin my dress, insult me in front of everyone, and somehow you're the one who ends up rewarded. I didn't ask for any of this.
No?
Then give back the money. Walk away. Prove you're not just another opportunist climbing on the backs of people better than you. Tamara's jaw tightens. People better than me? You mean people born lucky? People who never had to choose between medicine and food. Oh, spare me the poverty story. Everyone's got one. Valencia leans forward. Here's what I think. I think you planned this. Spilled that wine on purpose. Played the humble victim. Caught Darius's eye with your little speech about respect. She smiles. You're smarter than you look.
I'll give you that.
You're wrong. Am I? Valencia pulls out her phone, taps the screen, turns it around. Then explain this. It's a photo. Grainy but clear enough. Tamara and Darius standing in his entrance hall. The check visible in his hand. The caption reads, Mafia boss's new investment. Tamara's blood runs cold. Where did you get that? Does it matter? By morning, this will be everywhere. People love a scandal, especially one involving Darius Marcelli and some nobody waitress. Valencia's smile widens. Unless, of course, you disappear. Quietly.
Give back the money.
Tell Darius you made a mistake. Then maybe I'll delete this. The door opens. Both women turn. Darius walks in.
Slow. Calm.
His presence fills the room like weather fills the sky. Valencia, he says quietly. I thought I told you to leave her alone. Valencia's smile doesn't falter, but something flickers in her eyes.
Fear. Just for a second. Darius.
What a surprise. No, it's not. He looks at Tamara. Are you okay? She nods. I can't find words. He turns back to Valencia. You made a mistake tonight. Oh, and what mistake is that? You confused cruelty for power. You thought breaking someone down would make you stronger. He steps closer. But here's what you don't understand. Real power doesn't need to tear people apart. It builds them up, protects them. And right now, you're in my way. Valencia stands, voice shaking. You're choosing her? A waitress? Over me? I'm choosing conscience over cruelty. If you can't tell the difference, that's your problem. Valencia grabs her purse, face red with rage and humiliation. This isn't over. Yes, Darius says quietly. It is. She storms out, heels clicking like bullets on marble. Tamara finally breathes. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. Darius sits where Valencia was. She's not the real problem. She's just the warning shot. What do you mean? He looks at her with those dark, unreadable eyes. My father found out about you. And when my father finds out about something, people start disappearing. Is Valencia going to leak that photo? Or is something even worse coming for Tamara? Comment your predictions below, and subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. Some conversations change your life in minutes. Others take seconds. This one takes both. Tamara sits across from Darius in that private room, her mind racing, her heart hammering against her ribs like it's trying to escape. Your father knows about me. What does that mean? It means you're in danger. Darius leans back, fingers steepled, that calculating look returning. My father, Leonidas Marcelli, built an empire on fear.
Drugs.
Extortion. Violence. He believes power comes from control. From making people afraid to breathe wrong. And you. I believe fear is weak. It's temporary. It breaks the moment someone braver comes along. He pauses. I've been planning to dismantle his operation for 2 years. Go legitimate. Build something that doesn't require blood to function. Tamara shakes her head. Why are you telling me this? Because I need someone clean. Someone the public will trust. Someone who can stand beside me when I announce the changes and not look like just another criminal in expensive clothes. So I'm what? Your redemption story? Your proof you're one of the good guys.
No.
His voice hardens. You're the reminder that good people exist. That someone can look power in the eye and still choose truth. He leans forward. I saw that in you 3 nights ago. That's rare. That's valuable. That's dangerous. Dangerous how? Because my father doesn't believe in redemption. He believes in examples. And right now, you're about to become one. The words land like ice water. Tamara stands, chair scraping back. Then I'm out. I appreciate the help with my mother, but I'm not dying for your family issues. Sit down. Not a command, a request. But the weight behind it makes her pause. Why should I? Because running won't save you.
Not now.
He already knows your name, your address, where your mother gets treatment, where your sister goes to school. Darius's expression doesn't change, but his voice drops lower. You became part of this story the moment you spoke up in that restaurant. Now the only question is whether you face it standing or on your knees. Tamara sits, not because she wants to, because he's right. What do you want from me? Her voice cracks. Just slightly. Help me go public. Stand with me at the press conference. Show the city that change is possible. That my family's name can mean something other than fear. He slides a folder across the table. In exchange, I protect you. Your mother. Your sister. Around-the-clock security. New apartment. New identity, if it comes to that. She opens the folder. Documents. Photos.
Plans.
This isn't some last-minute idea. He's been working on this for months. Maybe years.
Why now?
Why me? Because I was waiting for a sign that people still cared about truth. That someone out there would choose principle over survival. His eyes lock onto hers. You gave me that sign. By spilling wine and talking back? By refusing to bow when everyone expected you to break. Silence settles between them. Heavy. Loaded. The kind that holds entire futures in its weight. Tamara thinks about her mother. About Janae. About the life they've built from scraps and prayers. About how one moment of honesty might destroy all of it. Or save it. If I do this, she says slowly, if I help you, what happens to Valencia? To people like her, who already hate me? They'll hate you more. They'll try to destroy you. They'll dig up everything they can to prove you're not worth defending. He doesn't sugarcoat it. She respects that. But they'll fail. Because I won't let them win. You sound very sure. I am. Why? He's quiet for a moment. Then, because I've spent my whole life watching my father break people. I'm done watching. It's time to build something better. Tamara looks at the folder again. At the plans. The timeline. The risks. Then, she looks at Darius. Really looks. Past the expensive suit. Past the reputation. Past the fear everyone carries around his name. She sees something she didn't expect. Exhaustion. The kind that comes from carrying weight nobody else sees. One condition, she says. Name it. If this goes wrong, if your father comes for my family, you get them out first. Not me. Promise me that. Something shifts in his face. Softness. Respect. You have my word. She extends her hand. He takes it. His grip is firm.
Warm.
The handshake of someone who means what he says. Then let's burn your father's empire to the ground. Darius almost smiles. Almost. Welcome to the war, Tamara. She stands to leave, but before she reaches the door, he speaks again. One more thing. My father's going to move fast now. Days, maybe hours. Stay alert. Trust no one except me and the people I send. And whatever you do, don't go anywhere alone. You're really selling this partnership. I'm keeping you alive. She nods, opens the door, steps into the hallway. Her phone buzzes. A text from Janae. Where are you? Mom's asking. She types back. On my way. Everything's fine. The lie feels heavier this time. Because everything's not fine. Everything's about to explode. She walks through the restaurant, past the tables where people eat and laugh and live normal lives. Lives where the most dangerous thing they'll face tonight is choosing between dessert options. She steps outside. Rain again. Always rain in this city. A car waits at the curb. Not Darius's. Different. Black SUV. Tinted windows. The door opens. A man steps out. Too fast. Too close. Before she can scream, a hand covers her mouth. Another grabs her arm. Mr. Marcelli sends his regards. The man whispers in her ear. But his breath smells wrong. Like cigarettes and cheap cologne. Nothing like Darius. She tries to fight. Tries to pull away. But there are two of them, and they're strong, and the street is empty, and nobody's coming to help. They drag her toward the SUV. Her shoes scrape pavement. Her heart explodes in her chest. This is it.
This is how it ends.
Then headlights.
Bright.
Blinding. A car screeches around the corner, roaring like thunder. The men freeze. The car stops.
Door opens.
Darius steps out.
No guards.
No weapons. Just him, standing in the rain. Voice calm as death. Let her go. Will Darius save Tamara, or is this the moment everything falls apart? Smash that like button and subscribe because Chapter 6 is going to leave you speechless. Drop your theories in the comments right now. The men don't let go. Not at first. They stand there in the rain, hands still gripping Tamara's arms, looking at Darius like they're calculating odds. 2 of them. 1 of him. Simple math. But I've lived long enough to know that some math doesn't add up the way you think it will. Darius doesn't move closer, doesn't reach for a weapon, just stands there, water dripping off his jacket, eyes locked on the men holding Tamara. When he speaks again, his voice is quieter. That's how you know it's more dangerous. I won't ask twice. The man on Tamara's left laughs. Nervous. The kind of laugh that's really fear, wearing a mask. Mr. Leonidas sent us. We're just following orders. My father. Darius says it like he's tasting something rotten. Of course he did. He wants to talk to the girl. Just talk. Then he can call her. Make an appointment. Send a formal invitation. Darius takes 1 step forward. Just 1. But putting hands on her? That's not talking. That's a message. And I'm sending 1 back. Headlights appear behind Darius. Then more. Then more. Cars pulling in from every direction, silent as shadows, forming a semicircle around the scene. Doors open. Men step out.
10.
15.
20.
All watching. All waiting. The 2 men holding Tamara finally understand. This wasn't random. This was planned. Darius knew they'd come. He was ready. The one on her right lets go first. Then the left. Both step back, hands raised, trying to look harmless. Trying to disappear, without actually leaving. Tell my father, Darius says, that his empire ends in 3 days. Tell him I'm going public. Tell him that if he touches anyone I care about, I won't just destroy his business. I'll erase his name from history. The men run. Literally run. Climb into their SUV and peel out, tires screaming on wet pavement. Tamara stands there, shaking, arms wrapped around herself. Darius walks to her, slow, careful, like she's something fragile he doesn't want to break further. You okay?
His voice is different now. Softer.
She nods.
Can't speak yet.
Her throat's too tight. Come on. I'm taking you somewhere safe. My family, already protected. I sent people the moment you left the restaurant. Your mother, your sister, they're in a secure location. They're fine. She wants to argue. Wants to demand proof. But her legs are shaking too hard to stand much longer, so she lets him guide her to his car. They drive in silence. She watches the city pass by, thinking about how fast everything changed. For days ago, she was invisible. Now she's in the middle of a war she didn't start. Why did you really choose me? She asks finally. Darius keeps his eyes on the road. I told you. You spoke truth. That's not enough. There are lots of honest people. Why me specifically? He's quiet for a long time. Then, my mother was like you. Worked service jobs.
Kept her head down.
Tried to stay invisible. My father married her because she was easy to control. Or so he thought. His jaw tightens. She stood up to him once. Just once. Told him he was teaching me to be a monster instead of a man. What happened to her?
Car accident.
Officially. He pulls into an underground garage. But I was 12. I knew what a staged accident looked like. The pieces clicked together in Tamara's mind. This isn't about redemption. This is about revenge. Justice. A son trying to honor his mother by becoming what his father killed her for wanting. I'm sorry, she says. Don't be. Just help me make sure she didn't die for nothing. They take an elevator up. 30 floors. The doors open to a penthouse that looks like something from magazines. Floor-to-ceiling windows. The whole city spread out below like a carpet of lights. You'll stay here until this is over. Everything you need is already here. Clothes.
Food.
Security. I can't just hide while You're not hiding. You're preparing. The press conference is in 3 days. You need to be ready. Need to know what you're walking into. He hands her a tablet. Files. Photos. Documents. His father's entire operation laid out like a map to hell. Study this. Memorize it. When we go public, reporters will ask questions. You need to be able to answer them. Not because you're my proof. Because you're my partner in this.
Partner.
The word sits heavy.
Real.
What if I mess up? What if I say the wrong thing and ruin everything? Then we adjust.
Adapt.
Keep moving forward. He heads toward the door. Get some rest. Tomorrow, we start preparing for the biggest performance of our lives. Darius?
He stops.
Turns. Thank you for not letting them take me. Something crosses his face. Not quite a smile. More like the memory of one. I told you. I protect what's mine. And whether you believe it yet or not, you're part of this now. That makes you mine to protect. He leaves. The door locks behind him. Electronic.
Secure.
Tamara stands at the window, looking down at the city. Somewhere down there, her mother's sleeping in a hospital bed. Janae's probably doing homework. Normal life continuing while hers spirals into something she can't control. She opens the tablet. Starts reading. Names.
Dates.
Transactions. Shell companies. Money laundering.
Threats.
Violence. Everything Leonidas Marcelli built on the backs of people too afraid to fight back. 3 hours pass. Her eyes burn. Her head aches. But she keeps reading. Because Darius was right. Knowledge is power. And right now, power is the only thing keeping her alive. Her phone buzzes. Text from unknown number. She almost ignores it. Almost. She opens it. A photo loads. Her mother. Asleep in a bed. But not a hospital bed. Somewhere else. Somewhere with dim lighting and concrete walls. Below the photo, a message. 3 days is a long time. A lot can happen. Come alone to Pier 9 tomorrow midnight, or find out what happens when daughters forget their place. Her hand shakes so hard she almost drops the phone. The secure location. The protection. All eyes? Or did someone get through? She tries to call Darius. Straight to voicemail. Tries again.
Same thing.
The city lights below blur through tears. She's trapped 30 floors up while her mother's in danger 30 blocks away. Is it really Tamara's mother in that photo? Or is this another trap? And can she trust Darius when he can't even answer his phone? Comment what you do and hit that subscribe button because it's about to get intense. Midnight at Pier 9 is where the city goes to hide its secrets. Tamara stands at the edge of the dock, wind whipping her jacket, waves slapping against rotting wood. Alone, like the text demanded. Her phone shows 11:58. 2 minutes until she finds out if this is rescue or grave. She tried calling Darius 40 times. Nothing. Tried the security team, he said was watching her. No answer. Either they're compromised or she is. So she came. Because what else do you do when someone has your mother? The pier is empty. Shipping containers stacked like metal tombs. Broken streetlights casting shadows that move wrong. Every sound makes her jump. Water.
Wind.
Her own heartbeat hammering in her ears. 11:59. Footsteps behind her. Heavy. Multiple. She spins. 3 men step from behind a container. Not the same ones from before. These are older. Harder. The kind who've done this enough times to be bored by it. The middle one speaks. You came. Smart. Where's my mother? Safe.
For now.
Depends on what happens next. What do you want? You disappear. Tonight. Leave the city. Don't come back. Don't help Darius. Don't testify. Just vanish like you never existed. And if I don't, he pulls out his phone, shows her a live feed. Her mother, tied to a chair, eyes closed, breathing. But for how long? Then Mama becomes an example. And we make sure your sister watches. Rage floods through her.
Hot.
Blinding. You touch them and I swear. You'll what? You're a waitress. You've got no power here. No leverage. You're just a mistake Darius made that we're cleaning up. Midnight. The phone in her pocket buzzes.
Once. Twice.
3 times. The signal. Everything happens at once. Lights explode from every direction. Vehicles roaring in from the street. Boats cutting engines off the water. Helicopters overhead, searchlights turning night into day. The 3 men freeze. Pull weapons. But they're surrounded.
Completely.
Nowhere to run. Darius steps out of the nearest vehicle. No suit tonight. Dark tactical gear. He looks different. Dangerous in a way that's not hidden behind calm anymore. You made a mistake, he says to the men. Voice carrying over the wind. You thought I couldn't be reached. That turning off my phone meant I didn't know. The leader keeps his gun up. Call off your people, or the old lady dies. No, she doesn't. Darius pulls out his own phone. Shows a video feed. Tamara's mother. In a hospital room. Safe. Security standing guard. That's impossible, the man stammers. We had her. You had an actress. In a room I let you think was secure. You had surveillance I let you see. You had information I let you find. Darius moves closer. Did you really think I'd leave her unprotected? That I'd let you anywhere near the people I promised to keep safe? The man's gun lowers. Just slightly. Leonidas will. My father is currently being arrested. 16 different charges. Federal agents hit his house 20 minutes ago. Darius's voice doesn't rise.
Doesn't need to.
His operation is done. His people are cooperating. His empire is ash. And you 3? You're the last loose ends. Federal agents move in. Weapons drawn. Command shouted. The 3 men drop their guns. Hit their knees. Hands behind their heads. It's over in seconds. Tamara stands there, shaking, trying to process everything. You used me. This whole thing was bait. Darius walks to her.
No.
I protected you. While you were reading files in the penthouse, I was closing every avenue they had. Every contact. Every escape route. You were never in danger. Not really. I thought they had my mother. I know. And I'm sorry. But if you'd known it was safe, you wouldn't have sold it. They needed to believe you were terrified. That you'd break. She wants to be angry. Wants to scream. But she's too tired.
Too relieved.
Is it really over? The immediate threat? Yes. The press conference? Still happening in 2 days. The public needs to see that the change is real. That people like you can stand up to people like my father and win. An agent approaches. We need statements. Darius nods. Turns back to Tamara. Go home. See your mother.
Rest.
Tomorrow we prepare for the hard part. Harder than this? The world doesn't change in one night. This was just the opening act. She rides back in a car with federal agents. They're polite. Professional. Treat her like she matters. It's strange. Being seen. Being protected. Being part of something bigger than survival. She gets to the hospital at 2 a.m. Janae's asleep in the chair beside their mother's bed. Lorraine's awake. Smiles when Tamara walks in. Baby, you look exhausted. Long night, Mama. They told me you're a hero now. That you helped catch bad people. Tamara sits on the edge of the bed. Takes her mother's hand. I'm not a hero. I just didn't run when I should have. That's exactly what heroes do. She stays until her mother falls asleep. Watches her breathe.
Steady.
Safe.
Alive.
Then she steps into the hallway. Slides down the wall. Lets herself cry.
Hard.
The kind of crying that's relief and terror and exhaustion all mixed together. Her phone buzzes. Text from Darius. You did good tonight. Rest up. The real battle starts tomorrow. She types back. What battle? His response comes immediately, making sure people believe this wasn't just theater, that real change is possible.
She pockets her phone.
Looks down the empty hospital hallway. Fluorescent lights buzzing. The smell of antiseptic. The sound of machines keeping people alive. Somewhere out there, the sun's going to rise. People are going to wake up, go to work, live their lives. And she's going to stand in front of cameras and tell them that power doesn't have to corrupt. That one voice can change everything. If they believe her. A nurse walks past.
Stops.
You okay, honey? Tamara wipes her eyes.
Nods. Yeah.
Just thinking.
About what?
About whether I'm brave enough to do what comes next. The nurse smiles. Kind eyes. The kind that have seen everything. You made it this far. That's proof enough. But as Tamara walks to the elevator, her phone buzzes again. Different number. The message makes her blood run cold. Your mother's safe tonight. But tomorrow's a long day. Accidents happen. Even in hospitals. Sleep well. Will Tamara make it to the press conference? Or is someone still hunting her? Drop your predictions in the comments and subscribe because Chapter 8 is going to shock you. The press conference is set for noon. It's 8 in the morning, and Tamara can't breathe. She stands in Darius's penthouse, wearing clothes that cost more than she used to make in a month. Professional.
Clean.
The kind of outfit that says, trust me, without her having to speak. But inside, she's screaming. That text last night. The threat. She showed it to Darius. He doubled security. Moved her mother to a different hospital. Different floor. Different name in the system. But threats have a way of getting under your skin, making you see danger in every shadow. Darius sits across from her, reviewing notes.
He's calm.
Focused. Like this is just another business meeting instead of the moment that could get them both killed. You ready? He asks.
No.
Good. If you were, I'd be worried. How are you so calm? He looks up. Really looks at her. I'm not. I'm just better at hiding it. Years of practice. He sets down the notes. My father taught me that fear is weakness. I believed him for a long time. Then I realized he was wrong. Fear is information. It tells you what matters, what you're willing to fight for. I'm scared they'll hurt my family. They won't. Not while I'm breathing. And if something happens to you, then you keep going. Finish what we started. Honor the fight. A knock at the door. One of Darius's security team. Car's ready. We need to leave in 15. Tamara looks in the mirror. Sees a stranger. Hair styled. Makeup subtle. Posture straight. She looks like someone important. Someone confident. Someone who belongs in front of cameras. But inside, she's still the girl who spilled wine 4 days ago. The girl who apologized just to survive. What if I freeze? What if I can't speak? Darius stands beside her. Then I'll speak for you. But you won't freeze. You know why? Because you've already survived the hardest part. Everything after is just proving it to other people. They ride to the venue in silence. Motorcade. Police escort. The works. Like she's the president instead of a waitress who got lucky. Or unlucky. Depending on how you look at it. The building is downtown. Press already gathered outside. Cameras. Reporters.
Protesters.
Some holding signs supporting Darius. Others calling him a traitor. The city's divided. This press conference won't change that. But it might shift the balance. They enter through the back. Security checks. Metal detectors. Dogs sniffing for explosives. Nothing about this feels safe. Backstage, Darius's lawyer hands them both mics. Remember, stick to the statement. Don't go off script. Don't answer hostile questions. We control the narrative. Tamara's hands shake. Darius notices. Takes her hand. Squeezes once. You've got this. Music plays. Their cue. They walk onto the stage. Lights blind her immediately. She can barely see the crowd. Can't count how many cameras. Just knows the world is watching. Darius speaks first. His voice is steady. Strong. He talks about his father's crimes. About his decision to cooperate with federal investigators. about his commitment to rebuilding the family business legally, ethically. Then he turns to Tamara. I want to introduce someone who reminded me what courage looks like. Someone who spoke truth when silence would have been easier. Tamara Wynne. Applause.
Some of it genuine.
Some of it polite. Some of it nervous. She steps to the microphone. Opens her mouth. Nothing comes out. Seconds pass.
Too many.
She sees reporters exchanging glances. Cameras zooming in. This is where she fails. Where everything falls apart. Then she remembers. That night at the restaurant. Valencia screaming. Everyone watching. The weight of humiliation crushing her until she found words she didn't know she had.
She speaks.
4 days ago, I was invisible. I served food. I cleaned tables. I apologized for existing. Then I made a mistake. I spilled wine on someone important. And when they demanded I apologize for the 100th time, I finally said what I'd been holding back my whole life. The room is silent now. Listening. I said I was sorry she never learned the difference between being served and being respected. And that moment, that decision to speak, it changed everything. Not because I was brave, but because someone finally heard me. She looks at Darius, then back at the crowd. Change doesn't happen when powerful people decide to be better. It happens when powerless people decide to speak. Mr. Marcelli gave me a platform, but the voice, that was always mine. And if someone like me can stand here, in front of all of you, and tell my truth, then anyone can. The applause starts low, then builds, then roars. Not everyone. Some reporters still look skeptical. Some cameras still search for cracks in the story. But enough people believe. Enough people care. Questions come fast. Darius fields most of them. Tamara answers 3.
Simple. Honest. No script.
Just truth. Then, near the end, a reporter in the back shouts, Miss Wynne, is it true you're being paid to lie? That this whole thing is staged? The room goes quiet. Waiting. Darius tenses beside her. Tamara leans into the mic. I'm being paid to survive. My mother has medical bills. I have rent. That's not a secret. But if you think I'd risk my life, my family's safety for money, then you don't understand what it's like to have nothing. When you have nothing, truth is all you've got. And I'm not selling mine. More applause. Louder this time. The press conference ends. They're escorted back through security. Into the car. Away from the cameras. Away from the questions. Darius exhales. First time she's seen him release tension. You did it. Did I? You told your truth. That's all we can do. Her phone buzzes. Text from Janae. You were amazing. Mom cried. Good tears. Come home soon. Tamara smiles. First real smile in days. But as they drive through the city, she sees it. A black SUV. Same model as the one from before. Following 2 cars back. Not close. But there. Darius. I see it. I thought your father was arrested.
He was.
But empires don't fall overnight. Some people still think they're fighting for something. The SUV accelerates. Gets closer. Too close. Darius pulls out his phone. Makes a call. We've got a tail. Black SUV. License Papa Delta 749. Intercept. 2 minutes later, police vehicles box in the SUV. Force it to the curb. Guns drawn. Shouting. Tamara watches through the rear window as officers pull someone from the vehicle.
Can't see who.
Doesn't matter. The message is clear. This isn't over.
Not yet.
Maybe not ever. But as they arrive at the hospital, as she walks into her mother's room and sees her smiling, sees Janae hugging her, sees the news playing their press conference on repeat, she realizes something. Fear doesn't go away. Danger doesn't disappear. But neither does courage. Neither does truth. And sometimes that's enough. Did Tamara just make herself a bigger target, or did she just win the war? Tell us what you think, and make sure you're subscribed because chapters 9 and 10 are going to bring this story home. 3 weeks pass like 3 years. The city changes slowly. Some of Leonidas Marcelli's operations shut down. Others go underground. Federal trials begin. Names get named. People cooperate. People disappear. Darius works 18-hour days, restructuring the family business. Legal now.
Clean.
But old habits die hard, and old enemies die harder. Tamara goes back to work. Not at La Maria. Darius bought the restaurant. Handed her the management contract. Told her to rebuild it the way she wanted. Make it a place where servers get respect. Where mistakes don't cost careers. Where power doesn't equal cruelty. Her first day as owner, she stands in the same dining room where everything started. Same tables. Same windows. Different life. The staff looks at her different now. Some with respect. Some with jealousy. Some with confusion. How does a waitress become an owner in 3 weeks? They don't know the full story. Only pieces. Rumors. She doesn't explain. Just works. Hires new people. Fires old ones who thought bullying was management. Changes the menu. Changes the culture. One shift at a time. Her mother's health improves. The treatments work better when you're not choosing between medicine and food. Janae starts applying to colleges. Real ones. Not just community college backups. Life moves forward. But some nights, Tamara still can't sleep. Still sees those men grabbing her. Still hears that text message threatening her mother. Trauma doesn't heal just because circumstances improve. She's in her new office, going over inventory when Darius walks in. First time she's seen him in a week. He looks tired. Thinner. Like he's carrying weight that won't distribute. You busy? He asks. Always. What's up? He sits across from her. The power dynamic is strange now. He owns the building. She manages it. Partners, but not equals. Not quite. I need to ask you something. Okay. If you could go back to that night with the wine, would you still speak up? Knowing everything that came after?
She thinks about it.
Really thinks.
Yeah.
I would. Why? Because staying silent was killing me slower. At least this way, I got to choose how I fought back. He nods. Doesn't smile, but something in his face relaxes. I'm leaving the city.
For a while.
Maybe longer. Her stomach drops. Why? Because my father's trial starts next month. And I'm testifying. Against him. Against everything he built. That makes me a target. Staying here puts everyone around me in danger. Where will you go? Somewhere quiet. Somewhere I can figure out who I am when I'm not defined by his name. What about the business? The restaurant? It's yours. Legally. Fully. No strings. You earned it. She wants to argue. Wants to say she didn't earn it. She just got lucky. But that's not true. She stood up when it mattered. That counts. Will you come back? She asks. I don't know. Maybe. If it's safe. If I can. They sit in silence. Two people who changed each other's lives in ways neither planned. Neither asked for. Thank you, she says finally. For what? For seeing me. When everyone else looked through me. You made yourself impossible to ignore. I just paid attention.
He stands.
Extends his hand. She shakes it. Firm. Equal. Take care of this place, he says. Make it what it should have been all along. I will. He leaves. She watches him go. Wonders if she'll see him again.
Hopes she will.
Knows she might not. That evening, La Maria reopens under new ownership. Tamara stands at the entrance, greeting guests. Some recognize her from the news. Others don't. Doesn't matter. She treats everyone the same. With respect. With dignity. Halfway through service, the door opens. Valencia Hale walks in. The room shifts. Conversations pause. Staff tense. Everyone remembers. Everyone knows. Valencia approaches the host stand. Makes eye contact with Tamara.
No smile. No bottoms.
But no hostility either. Just exhaustion. Table for one? Tamara asks. Professional.
Come. Valencia nods.
Tamara leads her to a table. Same one where it all happened. Not on purpose. Just coincidence. Or fate. Hard to tell the difference sometimes. Your server will be with you shortly, Tamara says. Valencia stops her. Wait. Tamara turns. I owe you an apology. Silence. Heavy. Loaded. You don't owe me anything, Tamara replies. Yes, I do. I treated you like you were nothing. Because that's how I was taught. That's how people like me stay on top. By pushing people like you down. Valencia's voice cracks. Just slightly. But you were right. I never learned the difference. And it cost me everything. What do you mean?
Darius.
My reputation. My friends. Turns out when your power is built on cruelty, it falls apart fast. She looks around the restaurant. You rebuilt this place. Made it better. I'm still trying to figure out how to rebuild myself. Tamara sits down across from her. Uninvited. But somehow appropriate. You want advice? From you? From someone who's been where you are. Powerless. Invisible. Trying to figure out how to matter. Valencia leans back. Considers it.
Nods.
Start by treating people like they're human. Not obstacles. Not servants. Not tools.
Just people.
The rest figures itself out. Valencia's eyes water. She blinks fast. Trying to hold it together. Is it really that simple?
No.
It's that hard. Simple and hard aren't opposites. They sit there for a moment. Two women who started as enemies. Not quite friends now. But not enemies either. Something in between. Something undefined.
Valencia stands.
Thank you. For what? For not making me beg. For not making this harder than it already is. She leaves without ordering. The door closes behind her. Tamara watches through the window as Valencia stands on the sidewalk, looking lost. Then she hails a cab. Disappears into the city. Service continues.
Taplas fi.
Orders go out. The restaurant hums with life. Normal life. The kind Tamara used to watch from the kitchen. Now she's part of it. Running it. Owning it. Her phone buzzes. Text from unknown number. Her heart jumps. Not again. She opens it. A photo loads. Darius. Airport. Boarding pass in hand. Message below. New chapter starts now. Make yours count. She smiles. Types back. Already am. The night ends smooth. Staff cleans up. Locks turn. Lights dim. Tamara is the last one out. She stands on the sidewalk where she once stood trembling, fired, humiliated. Same spot. Different woman. The rain starts again. Light this time. Gentle. She doesn't run.
Just walks.
Lets it wash over her.
Clean. New.
Tomorrow, her mother has another treatment. Janae has a college interview. The restaurant opens again. Life continues. But tonight, Tamara Wynn stands in the rain and remembers the moment everything changed. The moment she stopped apologizing for existing. And she realizes, some storms don't destroy you. Some storms just teach you how to stand. Is this really the end of Tamara's story? Or is there one more twist waiting? Stay tuned for Chapter 10, the final chapter, and don't you dare miss it. 6 months later, the city looks different. Or maybe Tamara just sees it different now. La Maria is thriving. 5-star reviews. Reservations booked weeks out. But more than that, it's become something else. A place where people who used to be invisible finally get seen. She hires single mothers, ex-convicts trying to start over, kids from neighborhoods where opportunity doesn't knock, it hides. Her staff doesn't just work there. They own pieces of it. Profit sharing, health insurance,
Respect.
things that should be normal but somehow became revolutionary. Her mother is in remission. Doctors call it a miracle. Tamara calls it what happens when people can finally afford to live. Janae got into 3 colleges. Picked the one farthest away. Not running from home. Running toward future. Everything should feel complete. Wrapped up. Finished. But some stories don't end clean. They just pause between chapters. Tamara is closing the restaurant late one Thursday when she sees him. Standing across the street. Hood up. Hands in pockets. Watching. Her heart jumps. Fight or flight kicks in. She reaches for her phone. Then he lowers the hood. Darius. She crosses the street without thinking. Stops a few feet away. He looks different. Beard grown out. Tired eyes. But still him. You came back, she says. I came back.
Why?
Because the trial ended. My father got 30 years.
No parole.
It's done. So you're free. As free as someone can be with my last name. He looks at the restaurant. You did good. Better than good. I had a good teacher.
No.
You had courage. I just gave you a reason to use it. They stand there. Two people who saved each other without meaning to. Two people who changed the world just by refusing to bow. What now? She asks. I don't know. I'm still figuring that out. He reaches into his pocket, pulls out an envelope. But I wanted to give you this. Before I decide what's next. She opens it. Deed to the building. The entire building. Signed over to her. Fully. Darius, I can't. You already did. This just makes it official. Where will you go? Maybe nowhere. Maybe I'll stay. Try to build something new here. Something that isn't haunted by what came before. He looks at her. Really looks. But I needed you to know. You don't owe me anything. Not loyalty. Not partnership. Not even friendship. You're free. Completely. She folds the deed. Puts it in her pocket. Meets his eyes. What if I don't want to be free of you? What if I want to build something together? Not employer and employee. Not savior and saved. Just two people who know what it costs to stand up. He's quiet. Then slowly he smiles. Real smile. First one she's ever seen from him. Then I guess we're building something. They walk. Side by side. Through the city that tried to break them both. Past the alleys where deals get made. Past the restaurants where the rich still eat behind tinted glass. Past the bus stops where people like Tamara used to wait, hoping tomorrow would be different. You ever regret it? Darius asks. Speaking up that night? Every day. And never. Both at the same time. That's the thing about truth. It costs everything and gives you everything back. Just not in the ways you expect. They reach the waterfront. Same pier where she almost got taken. Different now. Police patrol regularly. Lights work. Safe. Safe as anything ever is. I used to think power was something you took, Darius says. Something you held on to by making others afraid. My father built an empire on that idea. And now I think power is something you give away. The more you share it, the more it grows. You taught me that. I didn't teach you anything. I just stopped pretending I didn't matter. Exactly. The sun comes up. Slow. Pink and orange spreading across the sky like hope painted in light. Morning. New day. New chance. Tamara thinks about everything that brought her here. The spilled wine. The humiliation. The fear. The courage she didn't know she had. The people who tried to break her. The one person who helped her build herself back stronger. What do we do now? She asks. We keep going. Keep building. Keep proving that change is possible. And when people try to stop us, we remind them that some voices can't be silenced. Not anymore. They stand there as the city wakes up around them. Ships in the harbor. Cars on the highway. People starting their days. Most of them will never know this story. Never know that a waitress and a Mafia heir rewrote the rules one conversation at a time. But some will. And those some will tell others. And those others will remember that power doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it just refuses to bow. Tamara's phone buzzes. Text from her mother. Come home when you can. Made breakfast. Your favorite. She shows Darius. He nods. Go. Family first. What about you? I'll be around. We've got work to do. Plans to make. A city to prove wrong. She starts to leave. Then stops. Turns back. Darius? Yeah. Thank you for not letting me disappear. Thank you for reminding me why I shouldn't either. She walks away. He watches until she's out of sight. Then he pulls out his phone. Makes a call. Yeah, it's me.
I'm staying.
Let's talk about that community center we discussed. The one in the neighborhood where people need it most. The voice on the other end responds. Plans form. Details emerge. Work begins. Because that's the thing about change. It doesn't happen in one dramatic moment. It happens in 1,000 small decisions, 1,000 conversations, 1,000 people choosing courage over comfort. Tamara reaches her apartment, takes the stairs. Still broken elevator. Some things change slower than others. 4th floor.
Door Fierche.
Home. Her mother is at the stove. Pancakes.
Eggs.
The smell of coffee thick in the air. Janae sits at the table, laptop open, studying already even though the sun just came up. There's my restaurant owner. Lorraine says, voice stronger now, healthier.
Seat. Eat.
Tell me everything. Tamara sits,
Pours coffee.
takes a bite of pancake.
Perfect.
Like always. Everything okay? Janae asks, studying her sister's face.
Yeah.
Better than okay. Just thinking. About how one moment can change everything. How speaking up when you're scared can rewrite your whole life. Lorraine reaches across the table, takes her daughter's hand. You know what your grandmother used to tell me? What? She said the universe remembers every time you stand tall. Even when nobody else is watching. Even when it costs you everything. The universe keeps score. And eventually it settles accounts. You believe that? I didn't. Not for a long time. Life was too hard to believe in cosmic justice. Lorraine squeezes Tamara's hand. But then I watched my daughter stand up to people who could have destroyed her. Watched her turn humiliation into power.
And now?
Now I believe. Because I'm watching the universe settle its accounts. Right here at this table. Tamara's eyes water. She blinks fast.
I was so scared, Mama.
I know, baby.
But you did it anyway.
That's what courage is. Not the absence of fear. Just the decision that something else matters more. They eat. They talk. They laugh. Normal morning. Normal family. Except nothing about them is normal anymore. They survived. They transformed. They became proof that the world can change when people refuse to stay silent. Later, Tamara goes to the restaurant. Opens early. Checks inventory. Reviews schedules. Her phone rings. Unknown number. Her stomach still tightens. Probably always will. She answers. Hello. Miss Wynne? This is Sarah Chun from the mayor's office. The mayor would like to meet with you. Discuss your model for La Maria. She's interested in implementing similar programs citywide. Tamara almost drops the phone. The mayor? Yes, ma'am. Would next Tuesday work? She looks around her restaurant. At the tables where people used to treat her like furniture. At the kitchen where she used to hide and cry. At the front door where she walked out fired and humiliated. Now the mayor wants her advice. Tuesday works, she says. Voice steady.
Sure.
She hangs up. Stands there.
Processing.
6 months ago, she was invisible. Now she's being asked to help change policy. To help other invisible people become seen. The door opens. A young girl walks in. Maybe 19. Nervous. Holding a resume printed on cheap paper. She approaches the host stand. I saw online you're hiring? I've never worked in a restaurant before, but I'm a fast learner. I just really need a job. My mom's sick, and I'm trying to help with bills and... Tamara holds up a hand. Gently. Stop. You don't have to explain. Come with me. She leads the girl to her office. Sits her down.
Takes the resume.
It's short. Almost empty. Like Tamara's used to be. What's your name? Keisha. Keisha Davis. Okay, Keisha. I'm going to tell you something, and I need you to remember it. You ready? Keisha nods. Eyes wide. Working here isn't about experience. It's about respect. You respect the customers, the staff, yourself. You show up. You work hard. You speak up when something's wrong. And you never, ever apologize for taking up space.
Can you do that?
Yes, ma'am. Then you start Monday, 7 a.m. Training. And Keisha? Yeah, your mom's medical bills. We have a fund. Staff assistance program. It's not much, but it helps. Fill out the paperwork with HR. Keisha's eyes fill with tears. Why are you doing this? Because someone did it for me. And now I'm doing it for you. That's how change works. One person at a time. Keisha leaves. Tamara sits at her desk. Pulls out her journal. She started writing after everything happened. Therapy, her counselors said. Process the trauma. Make sense of chaos. She writes. 6 months ago, I was drowning. Today, I'm teaching someone else to swim. That's the thing about surviving. It's not enough to just make it through. You have to reach back. Pull others up. Make sure the next person doesn't drown alone. Darius gave me a chance. I'm giving Keisha one. She'll give someone else one someday. And that's how you change the world. Not with grand gestures. Not with revolutions. But with small acts of grace that multiply like compound interest. The universe remembers. And it settles accounts. She closes the journal. Gets back to work. Because work doesn't stop. The fight doesn't end. But neither does hope. That night, after service, after the staff goes home, after the lights dim, Tamara does what she does every night now. She stands in the center of the dining room, looks at the table where it all started, where she spilled wine, where she spoke truth, where her life broke open and rebuilt itself into something stronger. Thank you, she whispers to the empty room, to herself, to whatever force in the universe listens to grateful prayers from grateful survivors. Her phone buzzes one last time. Text from Darius. Check the news. She pulls out her phone, opens the browser. Front page headline. Former Mafia heir announces $50 million community fund. Time to build instead of break, says Marcelli. Below it, a quote from his press conference earlier today. I was taught that power means taking. But someone recently showed me that real power means giving. This fund is just the beginning. Tamara smiles.
Types back.
Proud of you. His response comes fast. Learn from the best. She looks at the restaurant one more time. Her restaurant, built from ashes and apologies. Powered by people who refuse to stay invisible. Tomorrow, she'll meet with the mayor. Next week, she'll train Keisha. Next month, she'll open a second location. Hire more people who need chances. Create more spaces where respect isn't optional, it's required. But tonight, she's just Tamara Wynn. A girl who spilled wine and accidentally changed her life. Who learned that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is speak when silence would be easier. Who discovered that one voice can start an echo that never stops. She turns off the lights, locks the door, steps into the night. The city is still the same. Still dangerous. Still beautiful. Still broken in places. But different too. Because she's different. Because Darius is different. Because every person who witnessed their story carries a piece of it forward. And in a city of 8 million people, that's enough. More than enough. That's everything. So what did you think? Did this story move you? Did it make you think about your own moments when you could have spoken up but didn't? Or times when you did, and it changed everything? Here's what I want you to remember. Tamara wasn't special because she was brave. She was special because she was terrified and spoke anyway. That's the kind of courage that changes the world. The kind that starts with trembling hands and a voice that cracks but still finds words. If this story inspired you, if it made you feel something, I need you to do 3 things right now. First, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because stories like this, stories about quiet justice and ordinary people doing extraordinary things, that's what this channel is all about. And trust me, we've got more coming that will absolutely blow your mind. Second, drop a comment. Tell me about a time you spoke up when it was hard. Or a time you wish you had. Share your story. Inspire someone else who's reading. Because your words matter. Your experience matters. And someone out there needs to hear that they're not alone. Third, share this video. Send it to someone who needs to hear that change is possible. That standing up matters. That one voice, one moment, one choice can rewrite everything. This is Silas Dorr, reminding you that power doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it just refuses to bow. And sometimes it shows up in the trembling hands of a waitress who finally decides she's done apologizing for existing. Until next time, stay strong. Stay brave. And remember, the universe is always listening. Make sure your voice is worth hearing. Now go out there and change your world, one brave word at a time.